Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at r/AmITheDevil, where everyone is the bad guy. These are usually posts from all over Reddit that have been reposted into AmITheDevil. 9 times out of 10, they're from AmITheButthole, and it's where actually the OP is the butthole, which is a lot of fun because normally it makes for some absolutely insane posts. So if that sounds like your cup of tea and you fancy a little drama today, stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. So we're starting off with a cracker today. This was posted in AmITheDevil by Educational Cap 2772, and they tagged it as "She slept with the sister's fiance." Oh, wow. We're in for a treat, I think, today. I tell you what, I do my damnedest to make sure I live a nice drama-free life. I keep myself to myself, I stay in my house, and I stay in my own lane. But my goodness, do I love having a bit of a nosy into how the other half live, the drama-full people. From my sofa, of course. I don't want to be in it, I just want to read about it. So anyway, the original post was titled, "Am I the butthole for causing a scene when my sister, 26, stole my pregnancy announcement? My sister, Lila, 28F, and I, 34F, are both the children of a single mother. Growing up, I was always closer to our mother since we were closer in age and had similar interests. I was also very quiet and well-behaved, while my sister was wild. We grew up in the sheltered suburbs, so her behaviour wasn't nearly at the level of a lot of kids generally, but it was a point of stress for my mum." Oh, I'm already getting golden child vibes. Oh, and by the way, I was an absolute little a-hole when I was a kid, and my mum always jokes that I just got it out my system early. So, just because you're a bit of an asshat kid, naughty, rambunctious, bit wild, doesn't mean you're going to grow up to be like a terrible adult. I mean, I don't think I'm a terrible adult. I'd like to try not to be, So, many moons ago, my sister and my ex-boyfriend started a relationship. I was all right with it since he was my ex-boyfriend in high school. Yikes. Okay, so that's a bit off. Don't date your sister's ex-boyfriends. No matter how much of an a-hole OP is going to turn out to be, don't do that. That is a bridge you don't cross. I don't care how much you have feelings for them. It's weird. However, OP has obviously greenlighted this, so who are we to judge, I suppose? I mean, I will still judge, but, I made a mistake after she got engaged to him, and I'm not justifying this, but when my ex and I had a moment, I gave in and slept with him. I immediately regretted it and told my mum the morning of, crying. Okay, so tit for tat. You don't accidentally fall on someone's sausage, my dear. It does not accidentally happen, okay? You mean it. You mean to do it. You gotta climb on board and everything. You gotta derobe and climb on board. This is not an accident, is it? She was upset at me, but understood, and when she tried to console my sister, Lil blew up at her and said that my mum was taking my side instead of hers, and she was mad that my mum consoled me, or whatever. She didn't talk to my mum for a long time after that. Understandable, but it's all very messy. Lila is pretty happy now. She got her life together and earns good money. Her husband is rich and she has this cute baby girl. My mum dotes on the baby, and ever since Lila has made up with her, takes Lila's side on everything because she's scared of losing her. Or your mum opened her eyes and realised that you're forever and always trying to one-up your sister? Maybe? Perhaps? I recently found out that I'm pregnant. I currently don't have a job and I'm living with my best friend. Don't go getting pregnant when you don't have a job and you're living on a sofa or whatever your arrangement is. You don't have secured housing. I know accidents happen. I get that, but I have a feeling from the way that OP has already been talking that she has done this on purpose to try and one-up her sister. And you do not purposefully bring children into the world when you have no means to look after them. Again, accidents happen. The baby's father will not be in the picture. After the shite show that was this year, the child is a blessing for me, and I'm really happy and couldn't wait to tell my mum. Look. If you don't have a job and you don't have a secured place to live, it is probably best not to go getting pregnant. Accidents happen, of course, understandable. My first was not planned, but we got our crap together and we did it and they're absolutely great, and they're growing up to be absolutely great and perfect. But, you know, you have to really get your stuff together. But why do I feel like OP has gone and got preggers to try and one-up her sister because her sister's got a daughter and she doesn't like that the mum is giving the attention to her and not OP anymore? I feel like that's what's happened. I feel like OP's purposely got pregnant despite the fact they do not have the means to look after a child. Don't do that. Don't do that. Kids are not pawns for your attention-seeking ways. Like, grow up. Yesterday, we were meeting for a picnic in the park, and I was really excited to make my announcement. I had made cupcakes with blue and pink frosting for everyone. Before I could tell anyone, my sister let everyone know that she's pregnant also. She's 5 months along and knows the gender. Everyone was so elated, and I was a bit hurt, but decided to make my announcement as well and revealed my cupcakes. My mum was silent when I told everyone, and when I prodded her, she said that she was worried for me since I don't have a job and she doesn't know how I was going to survive raising this baby by myself. Valid concerns. I started crying and told her that of course she's going to criticise me and compliment my sister, and that the favouritism is starting to show. It really hurt me. No, your mum is giving valid concerns. Like, they're worried. They're worried for you. They're worried for what is now this grandchild. And she doesn't want to see you struggling or bringing up a child that is going to struggle. Your mum has valid concerns. Your mum's obviously not criticising your sister over her pregnancy because she's married, she's stable, she has the financial ability to bring up a kid. So, of course, what is there to criticise? You know? Whereas you're just flaming doing things flippantly and recklessly without a care in a world. My mum got hurt and said that it wasn't her intention, and then my stepdad spoke up and said that she was right, and it wasn't about favouritism since my sister had got everything figured out exactly, and that he doesn't know if I'm capable of raising my child by myself. I yelled at all of them for underestimating me, and that just because I don't have some fancy job doesn't mean I can't raise my baby. I left in a huff. My dad later called me and said that he's sorry if my feelings were hurt, but that I really ruined the mood of the picnic by asking my mum of her thoughts and ruined my sister's announcement as well as mine. I don't think I'm the a-hole, and I just want to prove it to them. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I made a mistake in the title. My sister is 28 and not 26. I think there are also a few typos and grammar mistakes, so sorry for the typos, courtesy of iPhone. Yeah, don't worry about that because I am constantly making typos and I'm absolutely surprised that anyone can read anything that I text, to be honest. I'm one of them that I type so fast and I just spew my thoughts out without thinking. Like, not in a ranting way, just in a, I'm always so excited just to get the ideas out of my head that I've got in my head that I'm trying to convey, even for the most simplest of things, so that I'm like rambling then, and then none of it makes sense. And I never go back and spell check because who's got time for that? Not me. I also don't like to read what I've written because then I start reading it and thinking, oh, I sound like a right twat. Okay, so down in the comments, Unfair Entrance 159 says, seems like OP was perfectly fine with the favoritism until she wasn't benefiting from it anymore. Bingo! Absolutely. I picked up on that too, and I think all of us did, because it's glaringly obvious. OP doesn't like the fact that their mum is seeing through their bullcrap anymore and is now kicking off. Although their sister's done nothing wrong, apart from that initial faux pas of dating your ex. Like, yeah, that is weird. But you were both young, so I suppose I can give a little bit of a pass, and you did green light it, but then you also went and slept with him. So, you know, it's a lot of tit for tat bullcrap, isn't it, really? And then Domina541 says, I currently don't have a job and I'm living with my best friend. The baby's father will not be in the picture. And after that shite show of the year, this is a blessing for me and I'm really happy and couldn't wait to tell my mum. Just wow. Yeah, exactly. It boggles the mind why you thought that you were the one in the right here, OP. You've clearly, throughout your life with your sister, tried to one-up them all the time and be the one who is the favourite. And when it stopped working in your favour because your sister, as many do, had a bit of a wild child episode in their teens, but then grew up and got their crap together. You know, your sister's not the one in the wrong. Even for her wild child stints when she was a teenager. She was a teenager. I've been there too. Like I say, I was a complete little D-head when I was a teenager, drinking in fields, staying out all night, disappearing for whole weekends, you know, the full shebang. Now, you can barely get me out my house. I really need to get my shite together in this one. I'm so rambly today. I do apologise. I hope you enjoy listening to my incessant ramblings because it's what you're getting today, I'm afraid. So next post was posted by Natural Thinker and it says, he cheated, but he's the victim. Oh, goody. The original post was titled, Am I the butthole for excluding my daughter-in-law from family holidays? Edited to add, thank you everyone for the responses. I'm actually said daughter-in-law who is unfortunately going through this very real situation. I will be printing screenshots from this to give to my mother-in-law as a Christmas present. I'll be sending them with my soon-to-be ex-husband and then promptly handing her son divorce papers when he gets back from their holiday meal. This whole situation was the final nail in the coffin of our already pretty dead relationship. Every rationale I've given in the comments were things said to me when I asked her why she was more mad at me for coming to her than she was at her son. So again, thank you all. Okay, so from that I'm gathering then that daughter-in-law is actually one that's written this post, but as if it's from the view of the mother-in-law, which I feel like maybe skews the rhetoric a little bit, but we'll read it as if the daughter-in-law has construed the facts completely truthfully and that mother-in-law is really like this, okay? Because I do think when you're getting it from the perspective of the hurt party, you might not always be getting the real story, but we will continue and we will just treat it as if we're getting the full and honest story as if it was from the mother-in-law's perspective. So am I the butthole for excluding my daughter-in-law from the holidays? Last year, my daughter-in-law emailed me proof of my son being involved in an extramarital affair with a co-worker of his and tried to ask for advice. The messages were extremely graphic and not something I needed to see about my son. As far as anyone knows, the affair never went beyond graphic messages back and forth, but they were separated for a time. They got back together over the summer despite my disapproval of the situation, as she could have ruined his career with those messages. Well, don't be sending dirty messages when you're married then, love. He has worked very hard to get to where he's at in the company, and that is something that I take a lot of pride in. When I explained my disapproval of their reunification, he explained that there was nothing to blame his wife for, and that he was in a bad spot and should have gotten help instead of speaking inappropriately to a co-worker. I told him she would no longer be allowed at our family gatherings as I cannot stand to be in the same room with her after what she sent me. She embarrassed me with those, and she almost ruined my son. Now he's extremely upset. I won't allow her around for the holidays and is considering refusing to come to dinner since he does not want her spending the holidays alone as she has no other family besides him. Both of her parents are gone and she is an only child, which I can understand would make the holidays lonely, but I can't get over the embarrassment. Am I in the wrong for not wanting her around? Yeah! Yeah, you are. How is that even a question? Your son's sending little aubergine pics to people he shouldn't be and receiving some ham sandwiches back. Be mad at your son. Your son embarrassed you and your son embarrassed himself. The daughter-in-law did. Oh my God. Again, taking this whole thing at face value and that the whole story we've got is factual and how it happened. The daughter-in-law took perfect revenge, I would say, by showing Mummy Dearest what that absolute foul son has been doing. But to be honest, it makes sense why the son thinks that stuff like that is appropriate, because clearly the mum will just let him get away with anything, you know? And then Drunk on Red Cordial, what a cracking name. I used to pretend that cordial was cocktails when I was a kid. What's the bet that OOP was blaming daughter-in-law for the separation, so daughter-in-law sent her the messages to demonstrate why it happened? Yeah. And then Mindless Pangolin 841 says, that's a lot of words to basically say, boys will be boys, and daughter-in-law made a big deal so I won't let her in my house. Yeah. No, that whole boys will be boys rhetoric, put it in the bin, the sin bin, the one that is on fire. There's a lot of stuff going in there lately. This next post was posted by Tis the Damn Season 1. OP acting like he's the victim here. Oh God. And the title of the original post is Sugar Baby Messaged My Wife. Oh, goody. Wow. I, 39M, am in Canada and she, 19F, is in New York. Oh, already gross. What on earth is a 39-year-old doing chasing after a 19-year-old? Mate, like like a year or so lower and you'd be looking at prison. Or at least you should be. And being on a register. Gross, gross, gross. I fly her out once every month and this has been going on for 1 year now. Hold on a minute. This has been going on for 1 year now. So they were freshly 18 when this started. Excuse me while I go and vomit. Last few months I have slowed down and been busy with work and kids and not paying much attention to her. She started to get upset that I wasn't sending her money and wasn't wanting to see her anymore. I told her perhaps the arrangement had run its course. She got more upset and started freaking out and saying that I owe her and she won't be able to survive without me. I started getting annoyed and ignored her for a few weeks. She kept messaging me, I then blocked her, and she has the audacity to message my wife on Facebook and tell her about us. Oh, good. Good. While you're at it, prison, okay? Now I'm in a bit of trouble and trying to explain, cover everything, but the damage has been done. I've never had issues with other sugar babies respecting my privacy, but I suppose that this is what I get for having a 19-year-old sugar baby. Yeah, it is. You're borderlining on P3DO, my dear. Be careful out there, everyone. Yeah, be careful. You don't want to end up on a register. Edit. Why are all the sugar babies salty here? I didn't go purposefully looking for a younger sugar baby. It just sort of happened and we connected well. I was just telling a story of what happened. Edit. Weird. Everything downvoted by sugar babies here. Yeah, I woke up to 50 messages on Reddit from sugar babies wanting an arrangement with me. Yeah, and I'll bet you half of them are just people chancing their luck. I bet you they're not even like actual sugar babies. I bet you they're just people like, this guy is an idiot and gives his money to people he shouldn't. Let's go message him. Of course you're going to get that. It's the internet. If you say that you're willing to give out your money, then you're going to get chances, to be honest. What did you expect? Fruit Loop. And then Reynard, I assume, is reposting another comment that they found. And it says, I found some common sense in these comments. Who knew a-holes could have common sense too? And then the original comment says, I feel like all of us who cheat on our spouse shouldn't be that surprised if it ever blows up in our face. It's terrible, it sucks, but come on, we are being an a-hole, lol. The least you can do is not be a stupid a-hole. Don't give out real name unless there is a deep trust, and don't trust 19-year-olds who have no idea what is on the line. Lastly, don't treat someone as disposable, especially when they have ammunition on you. TLDR, sorry this happened to you, but you acted like a reckless dummy, so I'm not that sorry. Yeah, I'm not sorry, but I don't think any cheaters should, don't give advice on how to cheat. What are you doing? Like, what the hell? I feel like I've been sucked into a weird timeline where it's like, yeah, it's not cheating if you don't get caught. Stop it. This next one was posted by FitHumor5022 and the title says, he does not need to be gone that long. And the original title says, am I the butthole for taking a little time to myself in the mornings? My wife, 30F, Lara, and I, 35M, have 2 children, aged 2 and 3.5, and have been married for 5 years. Lara is a stay-at-home mum to our boys and takes the boys 3 days a week to take care of her grandmother who has dementia. The other 4 days a nurse comes in. I work in retail management. My typical schedule is 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. with an hour for lunch if I choose to take it. I live about 45 minutes from my job and I like to head out a bit early, get a coffee and a quick bite and send some emails from a cafe before walking into work. This typically means I leave the house between 8:30 to 9 a.m. in the mornings. After work, I'm often frustrated, so I stop by the 24-hour gym I'm a member at and run the treadmill or lift weights for a bit. This puts me back getting home at 12 or just after. On weekends, I often have things planned with family or friends that tend to use up a portion of my day. Oh, so basically you're not there and your wife might as well not have a husband, is what you're saying. That's what I'm gathering from this. Lara is telling me I need to stick around to help her more in the mornings. She's insisting my routine isn't all that important and I'm making her feel like a single mum. I can understand 100% why she would feel that way. From my perspective, I enjoy my routine. I get some peace and quiet, and it's a nice way for me to prepare for and end my day. But when's Lara's peace and quiet? You flaming corn on the cob. Lara wants me to be at home until she either leaves with the boys to her grandmother's or until it's closer to noon. If I did that, I'd completely miss being able to go to the cafe and deal with emails while I mentally prepare myself for the day. Yeah, so you have to be at work for 1. And if you want to leave and go to the cafe to grab a coffee and something to eat in peace, fair and valid. Leave at 12. That still gives you the whole morning with Lara. You're leaving at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So you're leaving a good, right there, just let me do some quick maths, all right? 4 hours. 4 hours to 4.5 hours before you actually go to work. And then you're coming home 2 hours after you've finished. Like, if it were me, I'd be assuming you were having an affair, not gonna lie. If I did that, I'd completely miss being able to go to the cafe and deal with my emails while I mentally prepare myself for the day. She doesn't mind me going to the gym so much, as she's usually asleep by the time I get home. I've offered to ask my sister or mum to come over and help her in the mornings, a day or 2 a week, but she rejected that idea. I feel like I've offered a compromise of sorts, but Lara tells me I haven't. Am I the butthole? Yeah, you are. Basically, she would be better off just divorcing you and finding a new man, to be honest, because what kind of relationship do you actually have? You've said you go out at the weekends with friends and family. Do you take her with you? I have a feeling you don't. You're disappearing for 6 hours of the day where you're not actually at work. Every day, consistently. So you're not spending any time with her. So she probably sees you for a grand total of about 10 hours a week or something. Probably not even that. Because I bet when you're at home as well, you're one of them ones hiding in the toilet, playing on your phone, whilst risking a prolapse. Do you know what I mean? It's like, mate, get it together. You are the butthole. Abso-friggin-lutely. And she'd be better off without you if this is the way your relationship's going to go, because she's essentially without you anyway. And then down in the comments, Amazing Emu 54 says, this sounds like taking every opportunity to avoid your spouse and children. 3+ hours of hanging out in a cafe is not a little time. Yeah, it's absolutely over the top, and every single day as well. Like, maybe if you really like that time of sitting and vegetating in a cafe for a good few hours, do it once a week and just say, this is going to be my thing once a week that I do as a little bit of self-care. You do not need to be doing that every day. And then Melatonin Dream says he's basically waking up, leaving, and only coming home to sleep. It's 15 to 15.5 hour days, effectively, of just avoiding his family. Bet once the kids are old enough to be fun, he won't need 3 hours at the cafe, especially since he offered his sister and mum to help. Basically, he won't say it, but babies are women's work to him. Yeah, basically, that's the vibe I'm getting too, and he doesn't want to actually partake in any of the work. What a butthole. And then this last post was reposted by Chief Blue 4298, and the title says, your dad didn't ruin anything, you did. So the title of the original post says, my father ruined us. How can I, 40M, make her, 34F, stay? My girlfriend, 34F, has given me an ultimatum. Move my ill father into professional care, rebuild our finances, and create a future together ASAP, or she's leaving. But she believes it's already too late to fix everything before she turns 35. I suggested moving to a cheaper place, but she also refuses to leave Los Angeles, as it would mean sacrificing her career she worked really hard for. 5 years ago, my girlfriend and I moved in together in Los Angeles, and everything was great, until my father, 78M, from New York, unexpectedly moved in with us right before the pandemic. He has severe health issues, spinal injury, prostate cancer, dementia, and OCD, and I couldn't bring myself to send him away to strangers because he has never been away from our family. Caring for him has consumed my life and finances, and it's taken a toll on my girlfriend's mental health. She was incredible in the beginning, kind, caring, and amazing cook. She also had an extensive knowledge about elder care and the nutrition needed for both my father and me. But being exposed to the constant stress, last-minute emergencies, and me yelling at my father in a foreign language has ruined her peace. Why are you yelling at an ill man? We can't travel without paying extra for a caregiver and worrying about him, and she always gets depressed returning to our apartment knowing what awaits us. I can see how that would happen, to be fair. It sounds like a lot of stress that she did not sign up for, bless her. I tried to convince my father to live with my sisters, but he refused to, and they also didn't want him. It's so not fair. The only way to ease my girlfriend's burden was by moving us to a larger, more expensive apartment to create some distance between my father and her, but the stress hasn't gone away. Over time, she's developed resentment and has started verbally attacking me over my family's failures. Recently, she told me she's terrified of turning 35 and blames my father for ruining her chance to get married and have kids. She began asking about my finances and became angry and depressed after learning the full extent of my financial situation. Yeah, like this one's tricky because obviously, if your parents ill, you're gonna want to look after them. But at the end of the day, it sounds like what you've done is you've concentrated completely on your father's care and not at all nurtured your relationship in any way, but expected your girlfriend to follow behind you, picking up the pieces, which isn't on. Our finances. Her, 34F, earns 110k at a demanding but fulfilling on-site job, has 150k in retirement savings and 100k in cash. She pays 1/3 of the rent and groceries. Me, earn 40M. I'm so confused by these numbers. Wait there, what does that 40M stand for when he says 165k remotely? Me, earn 40. I'm just going to read it as it's written out because I'm confused here. Me, earn 40M, 165k remotely, but only 50k in retirement savings and 20k in cash. I pay 2/3 of our expenses, including all of my father's medical bills. My father has 400k from selling his house, but I haven't touched it because he might owe back taxes. What? No, use that for his care then. And I wanted to save it as a last resort if he has to enter a nursing home that costs 10k per month. All these numbers is confusing my little pea brain, not gonna lie. She's urged me for years to apply for Medi-Cal, claim tax breaks, invest the 400k, or use that money to buy a house for ourselves, but I've neglected all of these steps. She even pushed me to consult with lawyers, social workers, and nursing homes, but I could never follow through, and everything just fell apart. She says my inaction over the past 5 years and my lack of financial literacy have been deeply disappointing. She also thought I was in a better financial position than her, at least when it came to retirement savings. Yeah, so basically, you've just let this become a massive problem. There were steps you could have taken to make everything a whole lot easier for yourself and your girlfriend, and you've just not bothered to do it. For why? I don't know. So what are you playing at, OP? Come on now. Where things stand now. This year has been especially hard. My father's health has worsened, requiring even more care. He needs assistance almost every hour to go to the bathroom and makes a mess. We've hired a caregiver for 4k a month, but his 3k pension only partially covers the cost. So I do the most of the caretaking. I'm exhausted from managing his care, my T1D, work, and household chores. I haven't had proper sleep in months, which is worsening my mental health and eroding the last bit of empathy my girlfriend has left for me. But you've let it get this way. You've let it get this bad. Like, you could have done so many things before it got to this point, and you've just, stuck your head in the sand and not bothered? I love my girlfriend and I want to marry her, but I feel like her expectation is too high and overreacting because her birthday is right around the corner. How do I calm her down? There are millions of people in worse situations than us, but she's so angry at me for not doing enough and not having enough. And I don't even know where to start. I'm drowning under the weight of my responsibilities and can't meet all her expectations. How do I use the 400k, plan for a house in LA where the average is 1.2 million, and still care for my father? What can I do to make her stay? How do I fix my life before it's too late? Mate, I feel like it might be a little bit too late already by the sounds of it. TLDR. My father, 78M, moved into our apartment before the pandemic, and my girlfriend, 34F, and I, 40M. Oh, it was his age. Friggin' hell. Oh, do you know what? Brain cells weren't being handed out when I was in the queue this morning. That's all I can say. Have been living together in LA for 5 years. Due to my father's severe health issues, it has strained our relationship. She's overwhelmed by the constant stress of caregiving, my financial mismanagement, and the toll it's taken on our future plans. She's given me an ultimatum to fix everything or she's leaving, but I'm struggling to meet her expectations while managing my father's care and finances. Is there a way I can save this relationship? I don't have much hope for you, my friend, I'm afraid. Update. Thank you all for your voices. It really helped me realise the damage I've done. My father ruined us. Those are actually my girlfriend's words, not mine. She has developed a deep hatred for my father and to some extent for me. Lately, she has been verbally attacking me almost every day. I feel incredibly guilty and sorry for the bad decisions I've made. I've tried nearly everything to comfort her. I've always gone out of my way to make her feel special, celebrating important days, giving her gifts, taking her out to dinner, and handling all the chores. I even took on the full responsibility of caring for my father to create boundaries for her. I barely leave our apartment, managing both a full-time job and the chores, except for occasional grocery trips. I'm the youngest in my family and the only son. Growing up, I never learned how to be financially independent or how to prepare for the future. All I really learned was how to be nice to people. My mum left my dad at the age of 70 to live with my sister, and I lost my older sister to cancer last year. Oh, that's really sad. I am sorry for that. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my father too, especially when he was in such poor health. Initially, he was given only a few months to live, but with my care and effort, his condition has improved significantly. As a result, he is no longer eligible for hospice care and has even encouraged me to use his funds to start a new life with my girlfriend. Recently, I opened a high-yield savings account to transfer his funds. I also took a day off to start applying for benefits, but I'm unsure where to begin since he only has a New York driver's license and no other documents. How long would it take to get everything in order? However, my girlfriend has been feeling depressed again, especially after watching videos of other people who seem to be doing better than us. Or, yeah, that's a bad rabbit hole to fall down. Don't ever watch videos about how other people are living their lives and feel bad, because half of that stuff is fake anyway and it's all for the camera. Like, it's such a bad rabbit hole to fall down watching how the other half lives, because half of it is absolute bullshit anyway. Yesterday, she suddenly started crying and refused to even look at me. She worked all night and began mumbling things like, "There's no hope," and "We'll never catch up." It hurts so much to see her like this, and I'm really worried about her. I keep telling her I can work more and make more money to catch up, but she is being pessimistic and negative. I don't know what to do to make her feel better. I need more time and money to resolve all my problems, and that doesn't come magically, does it, my friend? I think you've effed it, mate. And I'm not sure what comment this is replying to because I forgot to save it. But YFMAS says, exactly my thoughts. OOP takes no responsibility for his actions, just blames his father. No wonder she's done. And then Homer J. Simpson 3 says, he's taking credit for his father living longer though. Yeah, it's nothing to do with your care and stuff. Sometimes they get things wrong. Like, it might be your care, but I don't know, sounds like your house is an absolute shite show, to be honest. And shouting at him in a foreign language every day, like, that sounds just not good. Not good. You shouldn't be like shouting at sick people, you know? They can't really help it. So yeah, I think OP is basically doing that woe is me, feel bad for me, look how bad everything is for me shtick, and it ain't flying, my friend. You've effed it. You had options at the start. There were so many things you could have done. There were so many avenues you could have gone down, and then had a lot of an easier time with this, but you didn't want to do it. You stuck your head in the sand, and now you're suffering the consequences, which is too bad for you, I'm afraid. I just feel sorry for your girlfriend because she obviously had things that she wanted to do with you, like marriage, kids, and now she feels like it's all too late for that. She feels like you've ruined her life. She probably feels in a complete hole now. Like, where does she go from here? And I absolutely understand it. You've put too much on her and taken too much away, and now acting like you're the one who should feel sad. Like, I understand wanting to look after your ill parent. However, you have to do the things to find the balance, do the things at the start to make sure that you're not ruining your girlfriend's life and your own life as a byproduct of caring for them. And you didn't do that. So yeah, definitely the butthole. Get your head out the sand, mate. And on that note, we're going to leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed listening to these insane stories. I know I did, clearly, and I've had obviously way too much coffee today because I'm very over the top and rambly today. I do apologise. If you've made it all the way to the end, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you'd like to leave a like and subscribe, because I post every day so you can find your way back here, then please do. Other than that, I hope you have a really good day. I'm going to pop off now and edit this absolute shite show. Goodbye.